Hello and welcome to the release overview video for Thrawn's Revenge Imperial Civil War 2.3.3. This release includes a reworking of some galactic level scripting, new models, a new gameplay mode, and much more, but before we get into the overview, there's a few other things to note first. As usual, this update will mean that saves from the previous update will not be usable. We do keep instructions on how to make a backup, and do warn about the next release dates for about a month in advance in-game on several menus. However, since we know there will be people who either didn't see that or just don't read things, we have also released a backup version of 2.3.3 on mod database for the Steam version. There's also going to be a copy of 2.3.3 on this mod database for people who want that instead of the workshop version for whatever reason, and also as a backup for when 2.3.4 comes out. This is, however, also the first release of 2.3's cycle for non-Steam versions, specifically Disk and GoG. There are several things to note about this, since it's one of the things I'm asked about all the time, and quite often, along with many other modders for Empire at War, harassed about. The Steam version of Empire at War has several patches that the Disk and GoG versions don't have. These patches from Petroglyph addressed engine issues that impact stability and the capabilities of the game pretty heavily. Releasing the mod for all the other versions has necessitated stripping out a lot of content in order to make sure saves will work especially. It was not possible for the GoG or Disk version to save in Art of War and Empire's End at all, so those maps will not be available outside of Steam. Unit VOs and map preview images also use up RAM space on the galactic map and make it more likely that saves will fail to load in even smaller maps, so they too will remain only for the Steam version. The GoG and Disk Lite version of the mod will be linked in the description, but is being provided as is. The game goes on sale on Steam for $5 fairly regularly, so while we understand that's not possible for everyone, the reality of the situation is that until the Disk and GoG versions get patched, if they ever do, we will never be able to provide the exact same features as we can in Steam, and there's nothing that modders can do about that. That being said, it's time to go over the major changes for 2.3.3. The biggest new addition is a game mode called Instant Action or Fleet Battles, which we announced fairly recently. In this mode, you can build up custom fleets of whatever composition you want for each faction and fight it out, even disregarding PopCap. Right now, the mode only supports playing as the Empire and is only Empire vs. New Republic, but that's just while we work on expanding and fleshing it out. Eventually, it will allow battles between every possible faction in the mod simultaneously, so you could have up to 8 or more sides. It can be accessed from the Galactic Conquest menu. There is a setup phase at the start of the battles where factions won't fight, which can be ended at any time by clicking the Tactical Cam button, which is not a permanent solution. It's kind of awkward, but it's just there for now until we can adjust the UI around the version. There are 2 other Galactic Conquests added in this version as well, which Jord has been working on for a while. The first is the Corporate Acquisitions map, a small map based around the Corporate Sector Authority, which was the new playable faction in 2.3, and next is Deep Core Conflict, a map based on the Deep Core Warlords. Both of these maps can be set to start in different eras, similar to the regular era progressive maps. We've also significantly revamped how a lot of the back-end scripting works in the galactic level, giving us more flexibility with story events. We've reinstated all the planet defection events from before, and have also tried to address some scripting issues in Operation Shadowhand where things like the Eclipse wouldn't spawn. You can expect a lot more narrative events to come in the future, along with various influence and government mechanics which will start coming in 2.3.4 now that we have these kinks worked out. As always, there have been several new unit models overhauled in this release, with 2 new units added as well. The new units are the Clone Wars era BTL-B Y-Wing for the CSA as a dedicated bomber, and the Swift Assault 5 Hover Scout as a light to medium vehicle for the Greater Maldrude. For redone models, there's been the AT-AP, which is the 3-legged pod walker, the ARC 170, the AT-TE, the Victory Star Destroyer, Allegiance and Venator Star Destroyers, the LAAT, and the Praetor has received an updated skin as well. People often ask about the Asserter. That is still coming, but there are a few assets in line in front of it still. One more change worth noting is that the Zed Lair Randomization has been expanded a bit. Before, there were only 2 possible layers per ship, which is, it basically means the position vertically that the ships come in, so you could have different ships on top of each other. In practice, having just the 2 layers and they were very close together for each ship made it hard to notice in action. This has been expanded to 4 for each ship, so battle should look a lot more 3D in practice. Other than that, there have been several balancing changes for other small fixes as usual, but that's all we're going to be covering for this video. The next build will include the beginnings of the Influence and New Republic government mechanics that I've been showing off in the preview Let's Play we started as the New Republic recently on this channel, And we're also working towards finishing the beta for Fall of the Republic, our Clone Wars mod, which will hopefully start on October 31st. If you would like to report bugs for 2.3.3, please do so in the Discord server linked in the description. We hope you enjoy the mod, and thanks for watching.